Host. Let me have to think where it is. Okay, good evening to all. Uh, Today we have with our my best student, Varsha BS. She is the final year students, and within 1 week she is completing his degree of the graduate from the Department of CSE. And she is my best student from this academic year, and we are with I have with the from third semester to till now, and she has placed in the Morgan Stanley for that company with the good packages, and she is also with the intern with the same company with the 6 months of internship. And we are requesting for that Varsha for leading for that for our student with the lead code session. It will help for the placement activities for that purpose. And whatever we have, Varsha, these are the students are from EC department. The EC department students are interested to hopping for the subject as data structure using C because of the major concentrate only for the purpose of the placement. And these students have a both lab as well as the theoretical concept. We have another one subject microcontroller, and some students are joined with that one. And these students are very muchly interested to towards going for the software fields about that one. Because of that main issues, he took that as an open elective for that one. For that, what I am taught it, and we are learn for the placement activities from the last 2 years, and now we had how to crack the code for that and how that passing for that session. For that, it may help for our student for that one. Because of that, I made a request for you to take a 1 hour for that. It will benefit for the student on that purpose. So, behalf of AC student and behalf of myself, I welcome you for the today's session as a resource person for that one. And or you have to give your guidance. So what you gain from the knowledge from that, we are leading to that company for that one. So just the good evening for students. The students to make use of the today's session. It's for that for yours only. Any doubt in that, clarify. And only one request is that Zoom link is be entered for the 40 minutes. If in case while doing that content, if it not completed within 40 minutes, everyone has to be joined for the same link about. Once the Varsha has completed the session, then I will take over the session for the virtual lab concept for the content beyond surface. So once again, welcome to the both the student as well as the Varsha, and take over the Varsha.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a really good introduction of me. So, hi everyone. As ma'am told, I'm currently in my 8th sem still. So, I'm just your senior. So, you can call me Varsha. And today, as ma'am told, it is data structure using C. You are going through that subject. But I would like to, give my experience with lead code and how it is beneficial for you to come into the computer science stream. So basically, now what the company or the industry demands is for the languages like Python and Java. So I myself have done in Python, so I'll be sharing those things in Python only. So before starting, I just wanted to know what your expectations from the session is, because I was also in your place one day. So what is your expectations from this session? What do you want to know from me? So if anyone can unmute and tell, it would be really helpful.
Please open up the sessions only. I told interaction session. If you have any query, because the students are in still fourth semester, Varsha, so to make it for the sixth semester placement, that the today's session has to be make benefit about that one. So because of that, I told it's an interaction session, not like a class session. Okay, you just any doubt, anything. Some students are already going with the lead code also. Some 3 to 4 students are entering to the lead code here doing the problems there itself. That students have some doubts. I hope today will be clarify all the doubts with.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. So as ma'am told, some of you are already doing in lead code. I have not been spending much time with lead code, but yeah, I'll try my best to answer all your questions. But please open up. If you express what you want to ask only, then I'll be able to help you for the next placements. Nobody?
Hi Varsha, I am Apurva. I am from fourth sem obviously. I wanted to ask what are the basic concepts of DSA one must keep strong so as to crack any interview?
Okay, so see, DSA is one such subject, or it's like a component very useful and helpful for your placements. Not just placements when you enter into the industry or the company. DSA, all everything will not be DSA in the beginning of your career. In the beginning of your career, you won't be solving such big problems. But once you advance in your career, then you will be dealing with the code or the projects which are in production. That is, it is open and people are using it. There, to optimize the code, you will be using the DSA, data structures and algorithms. It's nothing but instead of using for loops, which will consume a lot of time, you will optimize that using the data structures like lists or stats, which will consume less time and memory and will have a faster processing power. And you will also save the storage power and computing power of the company. So that's what DSA does. And what all DSA concepts you have to learn is, first thing you have to learn the data structures, not the algorithms. First, you have to be familiar with what data structures do. Like, for example, how a list works, what are its features, and how can that be implemented in any kind of problem. So, for example, if you are good at stats, then any problem you see, so first you will think from the stat point of view. If not possible, then you will move on to the next data structure. So you have to be familiar with the basics of the data structures. And then algorithms comes implementing those data structure into place. Like for example, if there is any problem, like for sorting, so you can use different data structures for different types of problems. And if you are familiar with the algorithms using those data structures in place, then any problem which is very related or similar, you will be easily able to solve it using the algorithms which are already available. And these are those building blocks actually when you deal with a bigger amount of large project or anything. So these blocks will help you code in very less time, and then you can focus on the real world problems instead of these things like sorting and all. This should not be considered as a problem at all when you enter into the industry. Hope that answers. Anything more?
What were the questions that were asked to you? Like what topics the company asked you when you were interviewing for them?
Basically, they'll ask DSA. So first thing, and next is the questions is not the point. They want to check your understanding of the fundamentals of any field. Like for example, in computer science, they will check your understanding in object-oriented concepts, in DSA concepts. So and the coding, whichever language you are familiar with, are you completely understanding the basics or the fundamental? So they won't expect you to be like an expert. They will expect you to have the strong foundation in that field. So in that concept. So majorly it would be object oriented, DSA, and your problem solving ability. So how you will tackle if your problem is put in forward. So they'll give you a problem and check how you will solve it. What thinking or the strategy you use to solve it. So that's what it's the foundation of all interviews. So questions, they can frame it on their own. Hope that answers. Anything more? Shall we move to lead code?
Yeah. Vasha,
Okay.
7:15. Just I told everyone has to turn on the camera for take the one photo. Okay, just we'll take the photo, then later we'll turn off the camera, then we'll be cut. Just for the presence.
Okay.
You just continue. Yeah.
Okay.
Open up your
So
camera.
you can just open your browser and type lead code. You will get the official website. So there you can sign in. I have already signed in, so you will get the store page. You have to go to the problems page. which I have here. So here in problems page, you will have different courses as well offered in LeetCode, which you can adapt. Like they are like personalized training programs. They will have problems related to the subject, and they will also have a solution. They will have the level of hardness, easy, medium, hard questions. And let's take up one problem and see how it works. So let's take an easy problem. Let's not deep dive into data structures right now. So yeah, here this is the problems page where you will, at the left hand side is a description of the problem. So here you will have the problem statement. So this problem says given an array of integers. So it's an array, remember, integers, and last is the target integer. Return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. So first thing, whenever you see a problem statement, is understand it. So the first step for the solution is to understand what the problem is saying. So here what it says, first you have to make list of what are they giving, like the requirements, what are the parameters they are giving, and what are they expecting, and what is the solution they are asking for. So they are giving an array of integers, they are expecting a list or like two index numbers, two integers, which are the index of the integers inside that list. And they're also giving a target. That means one array and an integer is provided to you. And they're expecting two numbers, two integers to be returned. So, and you may assume that each input would have exactly one solution. So these are the extra clarifications they're giving you, that there are no more solutions, not more than one. So there is only one solution, unique solution. So this will give you a clarity that, okay, you have to return only two integer numbers. Those are the indexes. And next is what they're expecting is they're not expecting those two numbers. They're expecting only the index numbers. So they're not expecting the values. They're expecting their positions. And they add up to the target. So this is the problem. So you have to return the index numbers of two integers inside that array, which will add up to the target integer which they have provided. And they will also give you examples here. Like for example, in this, they are giving an array and the target is 9. So what it says is, inside this, there are two numbers which add up to 9. And you have to return the positions of those numbers which will add up to the target. So according to this, 7 and 2 are those two numbers which add up to 9. So their indexes are 0. So you might be aware that every array, the index will start from 0. So 0 is the index of 2 and 1 is the index of 7. So this is the output they are expecting, and it's a list. So explanation also they will give you so that it gives you a clarity about the problem which they have posed to you. And not just one example, you will get couple or 3 or sometimes 4 or 5 also if the problem statement is hard. And next they will give you the constraints that the number length of whatever array they provide will not be more than 10 to the power 4, the array length. And the numbers, whatever the values they give you will be integers. That is, they will have negative numbers also and positive numbers also. And the target will also be an integer, that is negative numbers also and positive numbers also. These are the edge cases that you have to keep in mind. So these constraints will, sometimes the test cases will have like those edge cases where here these constraints play a major role. For example, you might think, okay, these examples are having positive numbers, so you will not focus on negative numbers. But in the constraints, they have specified that even negative numbers may be there. So that's why in the test cases, they would have given those negative numbers. And when you submit your answer, if they don't relate to negative numbers, then your test case will fail. So that code will not be accepted. So you have not solved the problem effectively. So, and on the right side, this is the coding platform where you will do. They will actually provide a sample code like this. So this is the standard reset code. Here you have to write your code and return the answer with a return statement. And here you will have the option to choose any language you want. So minus Python 3. So I'm using Python 3 here. So it will provide it accordingly. So if I change to Java, this will be in the Java format. So let's start with this. So anyone wants to come forward and answer this? Anyone?
You can use double for loop,
Sorry?
nested for loop for that, but it's not optimized properly.
Yeah, we will try with the brute force only with the interest of time. So you can solve it?
I can solve it nested for loop, but we have to use map for the optimize the answer.
Yeah, but in the interest of time, and since this is the first, the basic thing, I wanted to introduce the fundamental concept. So let's go with the brute force, the nested for loop only. So since I'm using Python, so for
The next 7 minutes, the link will be closed. Please rejoin the same link for everyone.
So I've given a pseudo code. So as he told, we have a nested for loop here. So you can write your code, and after you write your code to check your test cases, you can run here. So with this, you can see if it is failing or not. Since this is a pseudo code, it might fail. Yeah, because I have not given the right function. So yes, then you can also debug here. And after your code is accepted, you can submit here. There is a list of solutions also. If you are stuck anywhere, you are not able to find the solution. So you can go here, check the solutions which are available. Some will have explanations, some will not. With the explanations, you will be able to understand what it's been, how it's been solved. Some will have multiple solutions as well. See? And you'll have some suggestions also for future problems. You can even add comments. If you have doubts, you can put the comment, and if a person who has uploaded the solution will answer you. You will have your submissions.